Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about masculinity in a sense, and I want to talk about love. I want to talk about feelings, and I want to talk about emotions. And really, the topic of today is why some men can't love, why some men can't offer love in a relationship or really know what love looks like in a relationship, and why there's some people out there struggling with in a relationship that they're struggling in the relationship that they're in because this person can't really love them, or the guy that they're dating can't really love them. You know, a lot of women struggling with the fact that this man can't love you. Why can't he love you? Well, that's a deep thing, and we're going to take a little bit of time and we're going to talk about that today. So before I get into that, I just want you to know that you're going to see a lot more interviews coming on the channel as well. So if you would like to be interviewed, if you have a story to tell, a story that you think could inspire someone, a story that you would like to share with, basically with the world, right? Because you think that someone can learn from it. Well, that's the purpose of this channel. The goal of the channel is for us to be able to share and learn and educate each other about different aspects of life, so that we can become better people, right? That we can find perhaps that our sense of joy, or discover our abilities to become successful, or whatever it is. So that's the purpose of the channel. All right. So if you've got a story to tell, contact me. You can find my email address on there. Drop a comment or whatever the case is, and we could chat, and then we could work that out. All right, so let's talk about. So I made some notes, some stuff that you'll see me referencing to, because this kind of hit me last night, and I was thinking about this. I was like, wow, sometimes, I heard this. I was talking to someone. She said, well, this guy, he can't love me, blah blah blah. So I wanted to talk about why men can't love, right? Why can men not love? Well, first of all, this goes across board. Somebody can't give you what they don't have, right? Someone can't give you what they don't have. Whether it's a man or a woman, right? Someone can't give you what they don't have. And let me explain that. It's not like they lack the ability to love, right? It's not like they lack it's not like they don't possess the human capacity to love, or they don't possess the human capacity to learn and to discover love. Is a lot of times it's that love has been absent in their life. And if something has been absent in my life and I've only heard about it, but perhaps I've never experienced it, then it's very difficult for me to be able to demonstrate, perhaps in any healthy type of way, in any positive type of way, that thing that you want from me, if I have never in a positive, in a positive way experienced it myself. So how can I love you if I don't really understand what love is, because maybe I've never been exposed to it in the home. I've never seen it with my parents or whatever the case is. So how can I understand that? And that's what some people need to understand, is that some people can't give you what they don't have. The other thing is that some people are broken. They're very, very broken, and perhaps they attempted to love at one point in time. And when they opened up their heart, when they put themselves out there, what came back was not what they expected. What came back wasn't love. It was hurt. It was pain. It was not the best example of what love is. So then when they find themselves in a relationship again, when they find themselves in a relationship with you, and maybe it's you who are in a relationship, and you realize you can't love someone because you can't truly open up, and you're asking yourself why. I wrote this down last night and I want to read it back. Some people can't love, or some men specifically can't love, people in general, but a lot of men can't love because they're not able to, and they're not willing to discovering what love is. And let me tell you why. It's because love now, for a lot of men, it involves having to deal with feelings. It has to deal with emotions. Men, feelings, emotions. That's what love, a lot of times, you have to that's where that comes from, right? That's part of what that is. And so what happens because of society's, now I'm not blaming society and the fact that men can't love, but I'm saying it does play a role in terms of how all of us, right, have been cultured to think that men are not supposed to have feelings, or men are not supposed to show emotion, or men are not supposed to. Now you could demonstrate love in a different type of way, but generally speaking, that's where that comes from. How do you get in touch with your inner self, right? To feel something, your human self. How do you allow your human self to feel? And when you start talking about feelings, you're talking about emotions. And we have, we, society in general, have kind of said to men that men are not supposed to cry, men are not supposed to have feelings, men are not supposed to have emotions, men are not supposed to. Okay, well, some men can't love because they can't connect with that part of themselves. They can't reach for that because, the whole thing is some men feel like they have to be hard. Like they have to be hard, right? They have to be tough and hard. And where does feelings and emotions come in when you have to be tough, when you have to be hard, when you feel like you cannot show any type of concern or whatever the case is? Let me give you some examples in society. Remember, there was a time when really nurses were just women. You see more men because caring was supposed to only be a female thing. Only women could care. Think about that. Think about, who took time off to stay home with the child. Well, for a lot of reasons. Yes, it's the woman would stay home with her child. But know that you have men wanting to do it. Think of some of the pushback, all right? The stereotypes in society. And think of how that has prevented a lot of men. Now, you really got to be an independent person, a very individualistic minded thinking person, to not let a lot of stereotypes control the way you live your life. So as I said, I'm not blaming the stereotypical nature of how we view certain things in society as the reason why men can't love. But what I'm saying is, in some way, all of us perhaps have contributed to the enforcement of those stereotypes that have caused a lot of men to feel trapped or pinned in a box, right? So we got to look at it from both ways. I'm not saying that society has caused a man to not love, but I'm saying that society perhaps have contributed to the fact that a man looks at love a certain way, and a man is not able to talk about feelings or emotions or connect with that part of him that then perhaps allows him to love. So what happens sometimes, you'd hear the dad say, don't cry, don't behave like only girls cry, or stop acting like a sissy. And there are women who would say to their sons, stop acting like a girl. Why are you crying like a girl? Why are you crying? No, I'm not saying everybody needs to run around crying or whatever the case is. But what a lot of people don't understand, the psychology of that. When from a young age you've taught someone to suppress feelings, when you taught someone to not deal with emotions, then what happens when you have lectured someone, you've instructed them, you've forced them and told them you're supposed to suppress feelings, you're supposed to suppress emotions, and I'm suppressing, I'm 6, I'm 7, I'm 8, I'm 9, I'm 20, 21, 22, 25, in a relationship, never dealt with feelings, emotions, suppress it, don't show it, don't. How can I give you what I don't have? How can I connect with that part of me that I have always been told I'm not supposed to connect with, that I'm not supposed to share, that I'm not supposed to reach out to, right? I have a student of mine's that we had a conversation about that, who talked about the struggle to deal with. This is a student from a couple of years ago who talked about the struggle to deal with, a male student, the struggle to deal with feelings or emotions, and doesn't know what to do with it, right? And then when he found himself in a relationship, he didn't know how to love. He didn't know how to open up. He didn't know to show like all that That was a lot when he's talking about feelings and emotions. And so that's why some men struggle. You know what's the funny thing? The funny thing is that we have, and not funny as being a joke, but the interesting thing is that we have, in a lot of ways, created a stereotypical dynamic within society that has been perpetuated for generations, that have said that this is how you should be and this is how you should not be. And then after we've enforced that, some of us even in parenting thinking that we're doing the right thing, and we've created this guy who cannot connect with feelings and emotions, and then we've sent him out there and say, hey, okay, now you go out into the world and you have healthy relationships. Well, healthy relationships means that you must be able to have conversations, and you must be able to talk about things, and you must be able to deal with your feelings and your emotions. And that's why some people are so violent, and that's why some people become so abusive, and that's why some people ending up in situations where they're taking people's lives, or they can't connect with their sons or their daughters in certain type of ways, because they've never known what it is to be in a healthy relationship with their parents, with their siblings, with their family members. And then so they can't take that and extend it to anything else. They've never learned what it is to show love in a healthy way. They've never been able to really get in touch with who they are. You cannot run from feelings and emotions, even if you're a man. We're human beings. God gave us all feelings and emotions. But if men talk about it, society's also reduced it to, somehow it's become a sexuality thing again, right? So men who talk about their feelings and emotions, maybe something is wrong with them sexually or whatever the case. That's how society a lot of times has. So what do you expect when a lot of times you end up in a relationship with someone and this guy is not able to show you feelings and emotions and all that type of stuff? He's not able to love you because he can't give you what he doesn't have. He is living the stereotypical role of what it is to be a man, right? And not to blame him, because everyone at the end of the day needs to be an individual and think on their own. But we cannot overlook the role that culture and society plays in the upbringing of men and all of us in general, right? So let me know your thoughts on that. Why can't some men show love? Well, because they don't have it. What do you think about what I've said? Please leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Don't forget to share the video. I would really appreciate it, as I'm trying to help the channel grow and bring you more interviews and all that. Remember, if you would like to be interviewed, please contact me if you have a story to share. I would really appreciate it. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe. You're going to see a lot more interviews, and every now and then sit down talks coming from me. If there's something you want me to talk about, please let me know. I won't mind making a video on it. But thank you so much. I know you could be watching anyone else's channel. Thank you for taking the time to watch my channel. And until next time, be good. Leave your comments. Peace.